Today I want to talk to you about Roth conversions and some of the misconceptions that are out there and the importance of really considering doing a Roth conversion this year, because one of the things that we need to look at is that taxes are probably going up down the road. If we look at it on January 1st, 2026, our current tax code is set to sunset at that point, and we're going to revert back to the previous tax code where taxes increase. So let's take a look at this. Here's what this means from a math perspective, very simply. If I had $1 million IRA and I was in a 12% tax bracket, that means that 12% of that money right now today belongs to Uncle Sam. 88% of it belongs to me. There's no getting around that part of it. Now, what we know on January 1st, 2026, our tax code is going to increase, so the 12% brackets go back to 15. If you're in a 22% bracket, you're going to go back to 25. So what that means is more of your IRA belongs to Uncle Sam 5 years from now. So if we look at this, then we have 15% belonging to Uncle Sam and 85% today. You're going to have to pay the tax on this, or your heirs will have to pay the tax. The question is, at what rate do you want to pay the tax? I prefer a lower rate. We know that rates are lower today, so why not pay the tax today at 12% by either making a withdrawal or a Roth conversion, so that more money ends up in my pocket and I get to keep more. So let's draw this out. Let's use a Bob and Mary example here so that we can really see this in action. Here's what we're going to take a look at. If Bob and Mary, they're 60 years old, they have $500,000 in their IRA, and we're going to earn a 6% rate of return on this. What we know, if we don't touch this money, we just let it sit, we let it grow, we don't do anything with it, by age 72, what kicks in? This account is going to double over that time period at 6%, but what kicks in is our RMDs, required minimum distributions. You must withdraw, in this case, about 4% of the account value. I'm rounding that off a little bit, but that would work out to be about $40,000. Now, if we carry this out over their lifetime, what I see most families do is we don't really withdraw this money to live on. We just take the RMDs each year. Maybe we live on that piece, but we are forced to take those withdrawals. And what ends up happening is we pay a lot in taxes. In this case, Bob and Mary themselves would pay $308,000 in taxes from age 72 to age 90 over their life expectancy. $308,000 in taxes on just a $500,000 IRA that they started off with today. Their kids, when they inherit this account, there would still be $1 million in here even after taking all those RMDs from 72 to 90. The kids would pay an additional $380,000 in taxes. So total taxes on what started out as a $500,000 account ends up being $688,000 in taxes, and the kids would walk away with $648,000. The question is, can we improve upon this? So here's what I would suggest with Bob and Mary. What if, based on their tax bracket today, if they're in let's say a 22% tax bracket, and what we're going to do is we're going to convert $50,000 a year to a Roth IRA, pay taxes on that. So the tax on that is $11,000, netting $39,000 out of that. So $39,000 is actually what is going to end up in the Roth IRA. We're going to do that from age 60 to 72, and then we'll stop doing Roth conversions. At that point, they'll just take RMDs. Here's how that plays out. Bob and Mary, instead of $308,000 in taxes, they're only going to pay $192,000, because we're doing this at a 22% tax bracket today versus in 5 years. We know that 22 bumps up and becomes 25. So let's pay less now. So Bob and Mary end up paying less in taxes. The kids, when they inherit the account, there isn't much left over in that IRA when they inherit it, so they only have to pay $61,000 on the inheritance. Total taxes, $253,000. We drop that significantly from the original $688,000. And the kids, instead of walking away with $648,000, in this case, because they inherit a $1.9 million IRA with no taxes due on it, the increase to the kids almost triple, and we did not change the rate of return. This is all about strategy and being more efficient with your dollar and keeping more in your pocket versus Uncle Sam's, because I think you can spend it better. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. We need to do this in the fourth quarter of this year before we hit December 31st. If we're going to do a Roth IRA conversion, please reach out to us and we'll take care of this for you. Have a great week.